O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This is...
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new CDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new Integra. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our grand bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Did you enjoy your weekend? I know I did. Nice time off. Enjoyed the family. Relaxed. Chilled for a couple of days, which is good. It's good to have an entire weekend off. Just watch football yesterday. Relaxed. It was good. It was good. I cannot complain. Hope you all had a safe weekend. Unfortunately, there were a lot of things that went on over the weekend that weren't very safe. Bunch of shootings, and Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle killed by their son. I mean, just some crazy stuff also over the weekend. So, just kind of a little twisted and all that. It kind of keeps you, leveled that, life is wherever you're at right now. It's pretty good because there's some people going through some really rough ones right now, man, because that was kind of disturbing over the weekend, some of the stuff that happened. But anyway, welcome aboard. It is Monday, December 15th, 2025. It is day number 18,960 since our beloved Miami Dolphins were world champions. It's also day number 8,743 since the Miami Hurricanes were national champions. They can do something about this starting on Saturday. So we shall see what we shall see. The Dolphins have no shot at that. They're going to add many, many more days to their streak. But the Canes, you never know, right? You never know. You got the Fernando Mendoza story. You never know. Which, by the way, got to admit, it was a tearjerker. It was a tearjerker, and obviously being a Cuban kid, and this is something that everybody can relate to, because we're all, so many of us we're all immigrants. We're all sons and daughters of immigrants, right? Because everybody migrated here one way or another, at one point or another, and those that speak other languages, whatever it is. Okay, doesn't matter if it's Italian, doesn't matter if it's Yiddish, doesn't matter if it's Spanish, doesn't matter if it's Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, whatever it is. Okay, that older parent that came over, the grandparent or something, didn't really learn English. They kind of, lived the life of the family and all that, and they didn't need to because everybody around them protected them, took care of them, and kind of sheltered them from the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying? My mother-in-law is like that. She doesn't know any English at all. She doesn't know any English because her life has been kind of sheltered, completely like that, where she doesn't have to learn English. She's lived in Little Havana her whole life. All her neighbors have been Hispanic her whole life. You know what I mean? And so, it was just kind of like that, and so you communicate with her in a language. So, and we all have to do that. And whatever it is, you have an Italian grandparent that didn't learn English, but they live here and and so it was just really cool to watch him communicate both in English and in Spanish to his grandparents. It meant a lot. Again, just an absolute tearjerker. I got to admit, as I've gotten older, it sucks, dude. Like you end up crying more in movies. You end up like you're like, man, this never happened to me 20 years ago and 40 years ago and whatever, you know what I mean? Like nowadays, it's like, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible approaching 60 now. I'm in the year now to hit 60, So now I'm only, what am I? Now I'm 11 months away or 10 and a half months away from 60. So it's just that's one of those things that happens to you as you get older, you get a little bit more emotional, I guess. And that Fernando Mendoza Heisman Trophy speech, that was one that moved me in a big time way. That was really, really cool, man. I'm in a 2-star athlete. You get recruited to Indiana. We don't take Indiana serious. We don't. I mean, for football. Indiana basketball has always been something that has been special, although lately it hasn't been as special, but it was special for many decades. And we don't look at football that way. So that's why you go as a 2-star athlete to Indiana and you end up turning yourself into the Heisman Trophy winner and possibly the number 1 pick in the draft, number 2, whatever. I don't know what's going to happen. But he's clearly going to be a top pick. You know what I'm saying? So pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Looks like a fantastic young man. Obviously, looks like a great family. The Columbus Mafia strikes again, which is that whole Columbus connection thing. It's a special thing, man. It's a special thing that they have been able to develop out of that school, that community, all those people that graduate from there, and they help each other out, and it's a really, really cool thing that Columbus has been able to develop. A great family-like atmosphere for those people. Good for them, man. Good for them, because there's not enough of that actually in the world. And so it's good to see that there's some pockets of people like that are helping each other, prosper, and then create a place where a lot of people can prosper from, which is what Columbus has become, a place where a lot of people can prosper from, you know what I mean, which is really, really cool. So that's why people always they want to get their kids into Columbus and all that, because it's a lot more than just a school. You know what I mean? So that's a cool thing about being in that Columbus family. It's way more than just a school. And you saw how they celebrated, his success and all of that. So it's just a great vibe all around for Columbus, for the community, for the Mendoza family. Just a beautiful moment, man. Really a beautiful moment. And by the way, one Diego Pavia cannot ruin. Okay. And his apology is dog shit. The guy you saw before is who Diego Pavia is. It's just he got so much backlash and realized what an asshole he is, and realized what a jagoff he is, the way he represented himself, the way he looked, all of that shit. Going in there with some, stupid chip on your shoulders and all that, where, dude, it's the Heisman. It's an honor just to be there, moron. If you're one of the finalists, just appreciate that you're one of the finalists. And if you're one of the finalists, that means you're all deserving. So whoever wins, choose the right path. But this is a guy that clearly, I thought in Vanderbilt they had intelligent people that actually hit the books. But then again, I look at Jay Cutler and, well, that's not so intelligent. Just wondering. I mean, Vanderbilt's supposed to be known as an academic institution. That guy, Pavia, doesn't look like he could figure out 2 + 2. Just saying. I mean, Vanderbilt, if you're supposed to be an academic institution, you might want to start acting a little better, I'm just saying. Like, you look at Wake Forest kids, Stanford kids, they usually act like decent human beings. Just saying. This is what you want representing you. You knock it out. But this whole the whole apology that came after was so phony. Believe the guy that you saw initially, not the phony you read in the apology. That's all I got to say about Diego Pavia. So, anyway, but again, phenomenal. Just a great speech by Mendoza. It was amazing. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Appreciate you. Thank you, sir, for your amazing generosity. Thank you. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation as always, and we appreciate that. Thank you out there. If you do, you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. Oh, you never sends in an insult. He always puts, have a great day, Big O. And thank you, Ho Yoon. Definitely will, my friend. I appreciate you immensely. By the way, over the weekend, Hateful Steve sent in many because, Hateful Steve can't stand Tua. So it eats him alive. So let me go through a couple of them. Here we go. Drake May runs to escape pressure, then throws it out of bounds. How many seasons did it take Tua to figure that out? Or was that everyone else's fault too? No, that's his fault. He's always done stupid things since Alabama. He holds on to the ball too long. Then don't get me even started on May running down the field practically step for step with the running back. Yeah, because he did shed like a blocker. It was a really cool play with Drake May running all the way downfield. And then he goes, now let's compare these QBs are playing with the division title on the line when Tua played against Allen for the title, 17 of 27, 170 yards with a TD and 2 interceptions. Performance that somehow got him a new contract. Yeah. It's killing him. It's killing Hateful Steve. Then he sends in another one. He says, I will say, though, that May ended up pulling a Tua and didn't do anything in the second half to win, but he's a rookie on a team rebuilding. Actually, he's not. He's a second-year player. Not some high-powered record-breaking offense like we had. Actually, I disagree with you, Steve. He has Mike Vrabel. Tua has never had Mike Vrabel. Okay? And the running game he had yesterday, well, with Vrabel, you always have a running game. Tua now has a running game when Tua's done. So when Tua was good, he had no dedication to the running game. So, always look to the guy on the sidelines. And you have Mike McDaniel. That's a clown show. What are you going to do? It is what it is. But Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And by the way, we've got a sweet Bitcoin dip right now, bro. 87.6 right now. There is wow. So what happened? Let me see what happened in the stock market then. What's it down? It's got to be down a few points at least, right? Let's see. Let me let it refresh a minute here to make sure we're kosher and we are giving you the proper information. It says the Dow's down 48 points. Not that bad. The S&P's down 5. The Nasdaq's down about a third of a point. So there we go. But sweet dip. Sweet dip. Loving that. All right. Anyway, appreciate you all out there as always. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Also, hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live. Let's see. What do we got? We've got Dolphins, by the way, are 3-point dogs. The over and under is 41.5. Dolphins are plus 145 on the money line. The Steelers are minus 175. I like the Dolphins tonight, but that doesn't mean anything. As you all know, that means absolutely nothing. Okay? Absolutely nothing is what it means. Unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at. You know what I'm saying? But it's I'll give you a great breakdown of what I've said all year, and I'm going to stick with it, okay? I've told you that the Steelers are frauds from the offseason. From the preseason, I looked at that roster, and I told you that's not a good roster. That's a fraudulent roster, okay? Well, we now know the entire division's fraudulent of the North there, but besides that, okay, they are frauds. They're not that good. This Steeler team ain't shit, dude. You're not playing a Steeler team of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20, 25 years ago. This is nothing special. Kind of like the shit that Mike Tomlin has been producing for several years. It's nothing special. But the problem that we have, and we live in it, is that while these current Steelers are frauds, compared to normal Steeler teams, these are frauds. This is nothing. This is a shit, mediocre team. This Steeler team ain't shit. But there are no bigger frauds than the Miami Dolphins. That's what they've proven for years now, for a couple decades now. No bigger frauds than the Miami Dolphins. They're the ones that beat the shit teams, rarely beat good teams, once in a while, like the Buffalo win. You know, the sun shines on every dog's ass every once in a while. You've won, 4 in a row, 5 of 6 now? Okay, well, here you go. Here's the tough stretch of the end. New England's going to have a lot more to play for now at the end of the year, by the way, because of the loss yesterday. So you've got a couple of teams. I don't really fear Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow can put up some points. So that can become kind of a game. So you've got several games here that you could lose, okay, down the stretch here in these last couple games. So win this. Prove that you are one of those Dolphin teams that can play in the snow. You know, I look over the last 40, 45 years. What would you say out there, old Dolphins that have lived it? What do we have? Maybe 3, maybe 2 really good snow performances? Not a lot. It's not like there's 10 of them. No, it's only a couple, less than a handful. And I don't even know if you won all of them. But there's not a lot. And it doesn't matter if they were Marino teams. It doesn't matter if they were Wanstead teams or whatever it's been over the last 45 years. The Dolphins suck in the cold, suck in big games, suck in big moments. Now, this is not a big team. This is a fraudulent team. Can you beat a fraudulent Steelers team? If you are what you say you are, a superstar, well, have no fear. The snow is here. The ice will form. So just continue to get it done. If you're the team that can really run, this is what translates to this kind of weather, this kind of part of the season. I don't care about the stupid playoffs. They're not going to the playoffs. They were never going to the playoffs. I have had the right attitude from the get-go. I told you in the preseason, this year is about watching the young guys improve so you find out what you have as a foundation for next year and years to come. Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you that in the preseason? And what has this season turned into? Watching the young guys, because you're not going to the playoffs. You're not making any impact. You're not, even if you made the playoffs, all you would do is get spanked and sent home. So you're not making the playoffs. This has nothing to do with it. I've never been talking to you about it. I'm not pumping hopium like I see the fucking riders do to you guys out there and just fill you up with a bunch of bullshit. I don't do that. Okay. And I get it. There's some weak fans out there that kind of need that in order to stay, watching. Oh, I got to have a carrot dangling. If I don't think there's a playoff, why am I going to watch? Well, I'm a real fan. I watch no matter what. No matter how bad it is, no matter how bad I know it is, I'm still watching. Okay? So I'm watching the young players play. Guess what? This is a great opportunity for young players. This is something that they can build on for next year, winning in this kind of weather. Instead of the, silly bullshit that we got writers locally writing about. Oh, well, if this team wins or if that, I'm not doing any of that shit. Okay? That's silly. That's a waste of time. I'm not doing any of that. But this is what I want to know about. Can you at least, you got a fraudulent Steelers team. You're not beating This isn't that difficult. All it is mental, the part of the weather. And the opponent, you beat a better opponent in the Bills. So what's the deal? You should be able to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're not shit. They're nothing, dude. They aren't special in any way, shape, or form. Not on offense, not on defense, not on special teams, not even in coaching, not in the front office. Nothing is special about the Steelers. Not a goddamn thing. Nothing. This is a fraudulent Steelers team. That division is nothing. The Dolphins gave away the Ravens game because they didn't play their style of game. Because the Ravens are nothing. So it's up to them to prove to us that they can play in this kind of weather. That's it. And you saw the practice in the, which, by the way, practice in the weather in some high school or college field, wherever the hell they were, that doesn't mean shit, dude. You know, when I saw that, you know what I thought of? I thought of Bruce Lee. Boards don't hit back. That's what I thought of. Boards don't hit back. That's it. I don't give a shit that you went out there practicing in the snow. Some of you were sleeveless and whatever. I don't care. That means nothing to me. Nothing whatsoever. It's game time when it matters. When you're on an NFL field against an NFL team, the lights are on, it's Monday Night Football, the pressure's on, it's really building. That's when it matters. That's when it matters, ladies and gentlemen. Not this bullshit. So get it done. Get it done. Prove that you can win in this kind of weather. Because whoever the coach is, whoever the GM is next year, a lot of these players are going to return. And this is what they need as a building block for next year. Okay? It's not about it's not just about the win. It's about what you can then use as, fuel for next year. Okay? Because that's what this whole ending of the season is. You are on a great little streak now. You're not going to the playoffs or whatever, but you got a chance to actually really end strong here in these last 4 weeks. Okay? Do it. That way going into next season, it's not like, again, you're not a bad team. You're not a good team, but you're stuck in the middle as always. Okay, so foundationally, that's where you're at. Now you got to find a couple of more pieces, the right coach, the right front office to start getting you over that hump. That's what this is all about. You certainly don't have the guy to get you over the hump. You certainly don't have the front office, and we don't even have the owner to get you over them. Look at the New England Patriots. They got rid of what was called the best coach in football, okay, because unfortunately they got rid of the best quarterback in football. But once the old man figured out Belichick doesn't have it, they parted ways. He got rid of him. And then he left him Gerard Mayo, and he gave Gerard Mayo 1 year. And when he realized that Gerard Mayo wasn't the guy, he dumped him and went and got Vrabel. And they already got their quarterback the year before in Drake May. And now the rest is history. They're back on track again because that's a great owner. So we don't even have a great owner. Great owners make great moves, not just spend money. Spending money is half the battle. You got to be a billionaire in this business, so you got to spend money. Okay, so Mike Brown is completely out of the mix. But most owners are in the mix. They'll spend. But do you know how to spend? Do you know who to hire? So the players need the right people above them. They don't have that. But these moments are the ones that matter for them going into next year. And for the fan base and for everything else, So if you want to make the streak that you're on matter, you got to end strong. Because if you start losing most of the games that are left, everybody's going to say, that's so Dolphins. So tonight, don't be that so Dolphins. Find a way to get it done. Beat a team that's really not that good. It's really not that difficult of a task, to be quite honest. So you're more than good enough to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just go do it then. You know, in years past, the Steelers were always better than you. Better defense, just better all-around team, better culture, all of that. They don't have most of that anymore. Their culture is nothing special anymore. Their team isn't anything special on either side of the ball. Their coaching staff isn't anything special, and neither is their front office. They're just middle of the road, is what they are. It's what they've been forever. So it's up to you, Dolphins. All right. Let's see what we got here. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. He said, I had a similar mindset for the season as you. However, I've become very disappointed of not seeing Weaver as a head coach to see what we might have in him. Bitcoin is down due to Japan hiking rates. This is common according to reports. You know, the Weaver part, you know, I wanted Weaver after week 3 so I can then see him for 14 games. You can see him, the owner, you know, the shitty owner that doesn't know what to do, all those kind of things. As for Bitcoin, and let me give R&M Contractors a little love, Mike. As for Bitcoin, what you're watching now is a transfer of wealth. And unfortunately, retail is, those of us in retail that are in Bitcoin, we are the minority. We're going to be carried by the sailors of the world, the 401ks, the ETFs, countries, corporations, all these bigger players buying Bitcoin. Today, Michael Saylor bought almost $1 billion of Bitcoin, $980 million. He bought it at 92,000 of Bitcoin right now. And it's, you know, dumped right now. Okay. Trump family, America Bitcoin company bought 23.5 million of Bitcoin. They now hold over 5,000 Bitcoins. Okay. When Bitcoin was at 127K, there was more unrealized profit then than Berkshire Hathaway. So, but the unfortunate part is the way things have developed, it is such a big number that the average person doesn't want to get in it because they keep thinking they've got to buy an entire Bitcoin when they don't. They don't figure out that if they buy 10%, 20%, 25% of a Bitcoin, it will be just as profitable for you and for your family down the line. But because you have priced out the average person, you are now being carried by the people that fundamentally carry everything that there is in the stock market. Apple, whatever, it's all carried by the rich because they can weather the storms. And so foundationally, everything from NVIDIA or whatever it is foundationally by the rich. And then retail is the one that packs in on top of it. Well, retail isn't packing on top of it right now. And that's why you have, you know, that 30% drop. We're going to climb past it now. But it's going now when they start lowering rates, when Trump gets in his own Fed chair and he starts lowering rates like crazy, then all risk assets are going to blow. And then that's when you're going to see Bitcoin and many other assets run. And then that's when some of retail will get in. But the tidal wave that we were expecting, I don't think is going to get in. I don't think so. Your tidal wave is going to come in from 401ks, from ETFs, from countries and corporations and things like that. That's where it's going to come. It's not going to come from the average person because people like myself, Well, we got in at 16,000 and at 20,000 and 25 and at 30. And so we're way ahead of the game. So the person that wants to get in now is looking at it in 80, 90, and 100, and they're like, no. And so they're going to end up going to Ethereum and some other things. That's what will happen once the rates start going down next year and then money starts flooding the markets. Ethereum and others are the ones that are going to start blowing up too. Bitcoin is going to be that one asset that's going to become unattainable for the normal person, and it's going to be controlled by the rich. That's what's going to end up happening unless you got in early or unless you're willing to see through the bullshit and say, yeah, I'm going to get 15, 20, 25% of a Bitcoin and hold it, and then that'll help my family down the line. But it's up to you. Again, never financial advice because I am not a financial advisor. Anyway, let's talk a little basketball with the one and only Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right, Ira, how are you doing, my man?
I'm enjoying my Miami Heat reset because I think this team needed this time away, regain its legs, figure who they are, reset things with Tyler Hero, and sort of now start season 2.0.
Are we blaming it on Tyler Hero?
I think that is so off on so many levels for this reason.
Right.
And we talk about this all the time in our Acura Pembroke Pines report. Orlando Alzagari might be the biggest supporter of Eric Spoelstra out there, that he can work wonders.
Yes.
This is what coaches do. You give a coach a situation. You give a coach like the Dolphins, an offensive line that's struggling, a quarterback that can't throw deep, no Tyreek Hill, you mix it up. Hey, he finds a running game. God bless him. That's what coaches do. Coaches problem solve. Tyler Hero is not a problem, but he's something different you have to work in. So if there is the genius of Eric Spoelstra, which I believe there is, and the genius of this coaching staff, you find a way to make it work. Talent never drags you down in sports, but talent has to be utilized and unleashed properly. That's where the Heat are now. What they did in October and November won't necessarily work with Tyler Hero, but there is a system, and Eric Spoelstra needs to get to that system.
Well, example, at the beginning of the year, I told everybody that the defense is going to struggle big time for the Dolphins. Why? They had 3 young defensive tackles next to Sealer, so now you can double Sealer and not worry about those guys until they actually figure it out. Their linebackers aren't great cover linebackers, and they have absolutely zero secondary outside of Minka. So last year, the coach had 0 pass rush, and he had to figure out how to create a defense without 0 pass rush, and the defense became a top 10 scoring defense last year. So I told everybody it's going to take him a half a season to figure shit out. And sure enough, half a season in, Weaver has figured it out. And now he's figured out who's who, what's what, and how it all fits. So the blood clot years for Eric Spoelstra, when he would have Bosch in and Bosch out and had to change things and all that, there was an adjustment period every single time. And just like any coach, now you throw in Tyler Hero, it changes the dynamics. Plus, you've had Powell injured too in the process. You've had a couple of other injuries too in the process, which has kind of created an imbalance. And at the same time, Powell and Tyler have to kind of figure out who's who, what's what in certain moments, right? And then the coach has to figure that out because he's got to call the plays too, and who's going to handle the ball and all of that. So I understand coaching. I understand how when you throw in different talents and things like that, it's going to throw things off. But we live in a microwave society, Ira. And that's the problem here, that everybody wants everything done immediately. And guess what Eric Spoelstra did? Immediately he gave you results with that right away. And you thought, well, throwing in Tyler, okay, he'll figure it out right away. And that just doesn't happen all the time.
It takes time. and you will find a way to make it work, because what worked with players X, Y, and Z might not work with X, Y, and A. And you have to sort of put it back together. The good thing is this: when you start from behind, you're constantly chasing your tail. The Dolphins, this desperation might be done tonight. When you start from ahead and you bank that equity, you were talking about your Bitcoin, and you bank your equity, you survive the dips because you've been in a good place before, because you bought at a solid position. The Heat have the equity to find out who they are without dropping too far out of the playoff race and regaining their footing. Those early season wins, that Kawhi Leonard misses the buzzer, those other late closing games, that's the equity now to settle things. Now, are we sure this works, Big O? I'm not. We will see. But we have time to see, because now we have today, December 15th, the first day players signed in the offseason can be traded. We'll have January 7th, the NBA guarantee date. We'll have February 5th, the NBA trading deadline. So we'll have time along the way to see if they need to reset. Might they need to reset? Yeah, there's a very good chance also. That's also part of the process.
Will the Giannis talk affect the guys? Because, now there's all kinds of Giannis talk now. And, he wants sun, he wants big market, and a chance to win a chip. Sounds to me like every check box in Miami. So I'm not exactly sure. So is this going to become a little bit of a distraction also?
I mean, if it becomes a distraction, then you haven't been here before. Because, Big O, has there been a season when you and I in our Acura Pembroke Pines report haven't talked about Giannis trades? So put on your big boy pants. Put on your big boy pants, Bam. That's what the NBA is right now. This makes sense for Giannis on multiple levels if the deal could be worked. But we saw with the Damian Lillard situation, just because a player wants something doesn't mean that something definitively will go in that direction. So Heat Nation, don't get your hopes up too much, because Giannis might want A, B, and C, but the Bucks might say X, Y, and Z makes more sense. Look, if they're looking for draft
out there that they were asking for 6 or 7 first-round picks or something like that,
why not? If Mikal Bridges can go for 5, why not start there? So if you want pick equity, you're going to the Thunder. You're going to the Spurs. Whether Giannis wants to be out there next to the oil derricks or not, it's up to you what you decide. If you want to meet him halfway and say, hey, this guy has been with us forever, we want to meet his demands, get our equity also, I think the Heat can put together an interesting package, and it all comes down to this. And I'll throw it at you, Big O. I'll let your listeners chime in on the text line. Khalil Ware, thoughts on packaging in the Giannis Antetokounmpo package?
I have no problem. Listen, Sean and I were talking about this on Friday. We came to the realization they're not going to do what I want to do. They're not going to go the OKC way, tear it all down, get as many first rounders and turn it over and go the long way. They're not going to do that. That's not who they are. Okay, so if that's not who you are, well, then go for it, bro. Go for it. So if you have to trade Khalil Ware, part of the Giannis thing, then go for it, man. I totally understand.
So you're talking Khalil Ware, you're talking Tyler, and you're talking one salary. Either Terry if you could trade him, or Wiggins if you can't. You're probably talking one young prospect, probably more Jaquez now than Jovic. You're talking 2 first-round picks and 2 first-round pick swaps. Then you're rolling out a team with Giannis Antetokounmpo, Bam Adebayo, for argument's sake, we'll say Andrew Wiggins and Davion Mitchell. That's probably as good as anything in the East right now. So then we get to the Big O spot that you always drag me into. Are you playing to make the finals, Jimmy Butler, 2023 against the Nuggets? Or are you playing to win the finals?
No. I watched OKC and the Spurs. You're not winning shit.
Right. So it's what you are playing for now. And Big O, we're hearing this now more than ever. You remember this because you and I go back. During the Michael Jordan era in Chicago, those 6 titles, the entire league was playing for second place.
Yes.
The Bulls with Michael and Scotty, they're going to win. We know that. So many teams, while Pat Riley banged his head against the wall, while the Pacers banged their heads against the wall with Reggie Miller, other teams said, we're going to step back. Stand down, gentlemen. We'll wait for the next opportunity. We'll wait for Michael to go play baseball, the Houston Rockets. We'll wait for Michael to go to the Wizards to retire. Then we'll start up again, the San Antonio Spurs. That's what you've got to decide. But the Miami Heat love the competition. The Miami Heat loved being in those 2020 NBA Finals in the bubble against the Lakers. They loved being in the 2023 Finals against the Nuggets with no chance against Nikola Jovic. So my thought is, if you can tell Pat Riley, in 2 weeks, I can deliver you the best roster in the Eastern Conference, I know he's going for it. So I can't say no because I know who they are.
Yeah, no, I get it. I've come to that realization. Sean and I were talking about it. It's like, this is who they are. This is what they're going to do. They're not going to do what I want them to really do because, I don't know, it's beneath them, I guess, or whatever it is. And by the way, not that I give a shit about the NBA Cup because I probably won't be watching the finals, but I had to watch Spurs OKC, and oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Young talent is dominating this league. And you look at the Spurs. All they are is the draft. All they are is Wembanyama. All they are is Stefan Castle. All they are is get a top 5 pick every year and build from there. There is a way in the NBA. So many other sports there isn't. In the NFL, it's get a quarterback as if that's easy. As if Josh Allen is definitively the guy. As if you're getting the guy. Very rarely is that the case. How many number 1 quarterbacks have done nothing? So you get to a point, it's still a risk. In the NBA, if you collect high pick after high pick after high pick,
Detroit,
it's almost infallible. It gets you there. Now you're in sleepy Oklahoma City. You don't have professional baseball. You don't have football. You don't have hockey. Fans will wait for you. You're in San Antonio. You don't have baseball. You don't have hockey. You don't have football. Fans will wait for you. Here, they'll go to the Panthers game. They'll go to the Marlins game when Izenga was here. They'll go to the Dolphins game if they get good. They'll go to the Canes football championship game. That's the difference, Big O. In a competitive sports market, you can't be sleepy OKC or San Antonio or Portland or the other small markets. Utah's doing it right now, and they will wait.
They don't have Las Olas or the Grove or Key Biscayne or the
Only
Key.
have hope. All they have is hope for the future. God bless OKC. There has not been a collection of talent, young talent like this in the NBA since I can remember. But man, go back and look at the standings and what that team went through. Go back and look after all the great pop years in San Antonio. The Spurs were horrible, just terrible. And I'm telling you, Big O, you know this. Kaseya Center would be empty. Miami Arena would have been empty. These fans have choices.
Yeah, no, I get, but suck it up, dude, because then your arena is going to be jam-packed and you're going to have a waiting list because you have collected some young talent. Although, you know what? I don't believe that the Miami Heat arena would be empty. I don't believe that. I think that they have done it for so long that I still think they'll draw
equity, and that's what people say about United Center. You go to Chicago now. You go to Chicago, it's jammed. Why? Because they built up an era of excellence that people are almost like, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to not catch it. I don't want to be off the season ticket list. Yeah,
I that's where I disagree with the Heat on many levels. One, I think you've earned that right to reset completely, and two, I think you're most of, not all, you're not going to be completely sold out and all that, but I think you'll have great crowds overall throughout because people will trust you, dude. They will trust you. And I think that us basketball fans will get excited because, not because you suck, because the potential of what you can get because you can suck will then bring us the excitement that we're looking for. And when I saw San Antonio and Oklahoma City, and I go, look, it pays off to suck for a while, dude, because you end up loading up with a bunch of these young guys. And look at all this long, explosive talent running up and down the court. And I'm like, my God, we are light years away from these people here in Miami. And it just, it's kind of frustrating.
Or even 1 year of luck, because look at the Mavericks and Cooper Flag and what one player is doing to reset also. There's something to be said for that. Look, this is what I know, Big O. We talk about this in our Acura Pembroke Pines report all the time. It's not because of his age. Pat Riley's 80. That's out there. That, no, we're not talking out of turn here, but this is an in the moment franchise setup for in the moment, and I think you accept that and you just move on.
I know philosophically is the problem here. It's that their philosophy has never changed and never will change, and they will not adapt.
But they will always pounce when they can, like Norman Powell, like Jimmy Butler. So the one thing about them, and you know what? It's not out of turn. Don't aggregate this. Giannis could be coming here. It could happen. Why? Because Pat Riley has built the equity and goodwill among players that he will do right by you, that if Giannis comes here, he will put together a winner. He will put you in that position. He will give you the best active coach in the NBA right now. So there is a lot in place also to stay in the moment because of what they fostered. And then Adam Simon, whether it's in the draft this year, whether it's an undrafted player, will continue to bring in this pipeline of, like you noticed, of the Pella Larsons and the late draft picks and the undrafted guys and give them that also.
Yeah. By the way, that was the NBA Finals we saw on Saturday night, right?
Well,
I know it's the Western Conference, but my point is, it doesn't matter. Whoever wins it all anyway.
No, and the West is loaded. It's not even San Antonio. It's also Houston, who didn't make it to the Cup Finals, but Houston and the roster they have together in the moment with KD also. And hey, let's not forget about Denver, which has the best player on the planet in Nikola Jokic.
But they don't have the depth that these guys have.
Yeah, but you know what? If Jamal Murray's playing the way he is this year and Cam Johnson comes around with his shooting, what I'm saying is this. I'm going to make an argument that I think the top 4 teams in the West are better than the best team, probably New York in the East right now.
Yes. There's no doubt. The champion's coming from the West. Yes. What I saw Saturday night, to me, that was the NBA Finals. There's no matchup in the East that's going to give me a finals.
I agree that in the East you're playing for second place. I do agree with that. But you know what? Last year the Pacers took the Thunder to 7. Sometimes it just takes one injury, one bad bounce. It's the old puncher's chance. Well, the Heat thought they had a puncher's chance in 2023 against the Nuggets, and they got punched in the face.
Well, we did against the Lakers. We definitely. I mean, if Bam and Dragon don't get in,
go down. Yeah.
The chemistry of that team cannot be denied, and that's what might have got. And again, they weren't facing a juggernaut of a Western Conference Finals opponent. If they were facing like something like this now, then that's different.
Yes.
But that was a beatable Western Conference.
That was not a generational team. The Spurs were generational. The Thunder looked like they're generational. That's the difference. I agree.
How about the Spurs? What do they look like to you?
Everyone is mentioning them as a possible Giannis destination. No, you don't go into the 30s and bring in a guy like that. You have it right now. I don't know if Wemby and Giannis would work with their games. You have Stephen Castle. You have so many good young players. Dylan Harper's not even starting half the time. He's a dynamic guard that they got at the top of the lottery. Sit there. This is your turn, San Antonio, to have your Duncan, to have your Ginobili, to have your Parker. The Spurs have always won with homegrown, and an incredible amount of luck with David Robinson and Duncan and Tim Duncan. Go the same direction right now. If I'm the Spurs, I grow it out. Now, the timing is not optimal with OKC being there in the same time frame, but they've got a lot going on. And matter of fact, as hard as it is to solve Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think Wemby is more unsolvable because what the hell is that guy? I mean, he's the ultimate 7'5" unicorn.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, injury-wise, how are the Heat doing going into tonight?
Pella Larson just sticking his face and his ankle in the wrong place, so he's down, but God bless him. I'll deal with a guy who's going to be out if he's going to just be putting himself in the heat of the fire. Probably going to miss another week. The schedule is light right now. They'll be fine. It's the laboratory. Eric Spoelstra had 5 days off for Tyler and Norm and get this thing right with Davion. Can he find time for Khalil Ware? Whether Khalil is up or down, I've written about this at the Sun Sentinel. It's got to be more than 12 minutes a game. It can't be Bam is playing 36 and Khalil's playing 12. Eric Spoelstra, you're a genius. Well, genius it out. You got to get Khalil out there. We've got to see more.
Is there more behind the scenes with Khalil that we don't know about? I just wonder.
Khalil Ware is not a low motor guy. Khalil Ware is an easygoing, nice guy. And sometimes it comes off that way. He's Arkansas. He's laid back. Laid back doesn't always work with a coach who wants you on edge all the time. Some players can change that. They go on the court, they turn it on. Some players can't. We're going to see that. Khalil might just be too true to who he is, in which case, hey, I haven't babysit your kids, but I'm not so sure I'd want him out there for 24 minutes a game.
All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. What do you got going on in the Sentinel?
A little more Bam in Asia. Asia, if she's going to come out and say she wants to have Bam's children, well, what's the natural response? Hey, Bam, do you want to father Asia's children? Go to sunsentinel.com. We have that posted right now.
Wow. Definitely. And we need to get a WNBA team down here. So that way we're going to try to steal. I don't know what they're going to produce, but we got to have the female side of it just in case, bro.
Well, it's like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander said at the NBA Cup. You got to figure if that kid's on the way, Sam Presti's already drafting it. So we'll see.
That's probably true. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heapy. Ira, as always, have a great night, my friend. We will catch up next week.
And happy Hanukkah to all those out there who celebrate. Thanks, Big O.
Amen. Yes, sir. Thank you, Ira Winderman. And don't forget, folks, the ADX right now, great deal at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Yes, sir. $239 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. It's a beautiful vehicle. The Integra, $279 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, 4.9% financing for 60 months, $359 a month. The TLX, $339 a month, only 4.9% financing for 60 months. Get on down there. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. Bitcoin at 87,259. That is pure sweetness right there. That is sweetness. That's what I would call it. I don't know what you would call it, but I would call it sweetness. Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And we always appreciate that. Thank you. Good conversation with Ira. All right. Just checking to see if there's any news going on. Anything brewing? All right, what else do we have going on? Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. And it starts off with tonight. The Miami Dolphins will visit the Pittsburgh Steelers. We will get you ready with our pregame show at 7:15. Steelers are favored by 3. The over and under is 41.5. The Dolphins are plus 145 on the money line. The Steelers are minus 175 tonight. Heat will host the Toronto Raptors. Heat are favored by 6. The over and under is 237.5. As you heard, no Pallel Larson out with that ankle injury. Toronto is plus 190 on the money line. Miami is minus 250 on the money line. That is steep. The Panthers, they have won 4 of 5, so that is good. They're starting to pick up some points. All right. They are 4 points out of the last place in the playoff spots. They got 34 points. Boston's got that 8th spot at 38 points. Tonight, they will visit the Lightning as they wrap up this road trip. And the Panthers are plus 125 on the money line. The Lightning are minus 145. They beat Dallas on Saturday 4-0. So really good. Sporting Club Jacksonville and our Fort Lauderdale United, they played to a 1-1 draw there in Jacksonville on Saturday. They are back in action. We are going to be broadcasting live on Saturday as they take on Spokane Zephyrs FC at 7:30. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Reach out to my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. 86,788 for Bitcoin. It's good. You got to like that, dude. You got to like that. That is absolutely sweetness right there. All right. Anyway. All right, what else do we have going on? we, in a way, the Tua struggles to a certain extent have become a blessing, believe it or not. In many ways, for some of you. One, they can finally say, okay, you got to get rid of them. So either you cut them in the offseason on June 1st, or you cut them next year after one more year. So that ends that. Okay. But two, the most important thing that has happened to the Miami Dolphins, and more than anything, hopefully it influences for years to come, run the damn ball. And because of Tua's struggles, they have to rely on the run. And that's where it's kind of like this whole bullshit about, Mike McDaniel hasn't lost the locker room. They're still playing hard for him. No, they're not. The New Orleans Saints, did you not see him win yesterday? I'm sorry, Sean, did the New Orleans Saints fire their head coach? Oh, so they must be playing hard for the interim coach. That's what's going on, Sean? Oh, I see that. That's how we play the game. We don't give the players anything for professionalism. They are getting paid to play. Like, you look at it, and it's like, okay, well, they have nothing to play for. By the way, the Jets, they picked up a couple of wins the last couple of weeks. They're still playing hard. They're not very good. What is it? Because they're playing for the coach or something? Is that the stupid shit that we're going to use? Give me a break, dude. That is like such a load of crap. So these guys are playing because they're professionals. And the coach is coaching because he has no choice that he has to coach this way. If Tua gets on some kind of a roll, come on. Who are we kidding here? If Tua from 2023 shows up, do you think that he continues to be run happy? Or does he start going to the well a little too much? Who are we kidding? So there is a positive to all of this, okay? Especially for those of you that hate Tua. Well, now for sure you can part ways with him because I don't know what the hell happened to the kid mentally, physically, whatever. By the way, does Nick Hicks and him like at least talk still? Because I know he left him, but he should go back because athletically and everything else, Nick had him moving around, bro. Like, holy crap. I don't know what the hell happened. But anyway, there are positives, but don't kid yourselves. A lot of the reasons why you're running, it's because they have no choice. It's not because McDaniel's a genius. And they're winning because McDaniel had to go with the run, which is now complementing their players a little bit better and giving them an opportunity to succeed. And to the players' credit, Zach Sealer is going to play hard no matter who the coach is. And so is Aaron Brewer. None of those guys are going to play, they're going to loaf off. No, those guys are going to play hard. So is Alec Ingold. So is everybody else pretty much, dude. They're not playing for Mike McDaniel. They're playing for their own pride. But players do need a scheme to succeed. So Weaver has finally figured out who's who, what's what, what's your strength, what's your weakness, how you can help me in this situation, how you can't help me in this situation. So he knows who to use, what to use, where, and what situation, which he didn't know early on. So it now helps his players. But it's not from a lack of trying. They were always playing hard for Weaver. It's just they were not, organized at that point early on in the season. So there's a lot of stuff that there's a domino effect to all of this. And the domino effect to Tua's struggles leads to fundamentally playing better football, smarter football. But I don't know if it was necessarily a choice or a desperate option that becomes now something really positive for them. It's crazy shit. Crazy shit. Anyway. All right. Let me see. What do we got here on the chat board? Let's see. Here we go. All right. Let's see. True Fin fan. Gus 1388. I see. Luis Notares. Tony Stanley. Jamie Zorria. Sneak Attack. Lisa Rose. Jeff in Long Island. Let's see. Skylar Tipton. Juan Rosa. Unknown Fins fan. Billy Bob. Pipe Man Slim is buying that dip. Smart man. Think Blue Dodgers. Stephen Harris. Big Johnson. Ty in the Bronx. Morning to all. Jay says, I'm thinking what's Big O talking about for tonight, and I pop in right when Big O says the team ain't shit. Let's see. Tickets are so cheap tonight. I'm still considering going. I was seeing $35. Really? Is he talking about the Heat game tonight? Or is he talking about like he's in Pittsburgh? I doubt that, right? I don't know. What's he talking about there? Jake from Pallettown. I don't know where Jake from Pallettown is. I don't know if he's in Miami. I don't know if he's in Pittsburgh. I don't know if he's in Tampa. I doubt. I can tell you this. No way that Lightning tickets are $35. No way. So I don't know about the other two, but on that one, no way. Let's see. Yater Castro go. This is the non-pumping Hopi and Big O show. Mr. Orlando and the one and only Master Sean Stanley. Let's go, Fins. Greg the Kill Switch says, Big O, from the cold of Ohio, we have to prove that we can win in December, and we are historically bad in December in winter games. At least show the fans you can fight and change the narrative. That's my point. That's my point. That's the beauty of, it's not about the playoffs. It's not about any of that silliness or any of that. It's about changing narratives. It's about finishing strong. It's about showing that foundationally some of your players are really good that you can build on for next year and moving forward. That's what this is all about. Unfortunately, it's not about Super Bowl or playoffs or any of that kind of stuff. It's not what we are right now. Big O, reason we become more sentimental and cry as we age, it's because we produce more estrogen. Fact. Really? I have no idea. I'm not smart enough for that. I'll take your word for it. But whatever it is, bro, it F's you up, dude. It sucks. I got to tell you, it sucks. John Padilla says, I snuck on my headset at work in orientation listening to Big O. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you for the super chat. He says, Billy Bob in chat room. That's a sign. Watch Bad Santa. Merry Christmas to you both. Want some sandwiches. I will watch it one day. I don't know when, but I will watch Bad Santa one day. Never saw it. Never saw Bad Santa. Hey, by the way, Sean, did you see how well things went in India for Messi? Everything's a money grab with this guy, dude. Everything's a money grab. He goes to India. A bunch of people are paying like over $100 to get into the stadium to see him. He's supposed to be there for 45 minutes. He shows up for 20. He kicks a ball around with a couple of politicians and I guess some of their sons or something wearing some kind of uniform because they don't even know how to kick a ball. And then he leaves. No people in the stands really don't get to see him much. They start rioting, tearing up the stadium. They start like damaging all kinds of stuff. They built a 70-foot statue for him in India and everything. And it's disaster, bro. Disaster. The security was shitty and all that kind of stuff, but it's, money's in the bank, bro. It's all they care about, dude. So it's just so mercenary-ish. You know what I mean? Just like this championship that we have, it just doesn't feel like a real championship. It feels so, I don't know, so plastic. Like a woman that added a whole bunch of ass to her backside. Just feels like a lot of plastic. That's what it kind of feels like. It just feels fake. Whereas our Panther players or Heat players or Marlin players, they all did parades and they all mingled with the crowd and they were all over the media and the top stars were talking and all that. These people won and disappeared into the night. Like hitmen. Like somebody you paid off in the middle of the night to just put a hit out for you, and that's it. It's over. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Sean, do me a favor. Give me a minute here. Por favor. 1 minute.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moodius Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodius.dental. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodiusdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome back, folks. Appreciate you all out there. Remember, we're going to be back in a little bit, a few hours, but we'll be back for the pregame show, and we'll get you ready for the Dolphins and the Steelers. Hopefully they win. I'm picking the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins can win this game. I think the Dolphins should win this game. It's up to them. Like I said, it's up to them. They're playing a fraudulent Steelers team. This team isn't that good. So it's up to what the Dolphins can't be is more fraudulent than them. Be better than them like you have been in the last month and play like it. And if Miami plays the way they've been playing the last month, I expect them to win. They got another break with TJ Watt out with a punctured lung. So let's go, man. Take advantage. Okay? Take advantage. By the way, on the entertainment side, just an absolutely sad story with Rob and Michelle Reiner. Their son, Nick, has been arrested and is being held on a $4 million bail. The 32-year-old is in custody with the LA Police Department on Monday morning. He was booked. The couple was found by their daughter on Sunday with their throats slit inside their Los Angeles homes. Friends and collaborator Billy Crystal and Larry David were seen leaving the couple's home Sunday evening as they looked very distraught. An outpouring of tributes have come in following the tragedy. And Rob was 78. Michelle was 68. Just, and when we talk about Rob Reiner, when you're talking about a guy like me, anybody that's around my age, Rob Reiner is like a massive part of your life. Like a massive part of your life. So many things, that he was a part of, starting with All in the Family and Meathead and everything else. And, I've got it here where we can talk about Throw Mama from the Train, Sleepless in Seattle, Bullets Over Broadway, The First Wives Club, Primary Colors, The Wolf of Wall Street, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, A Few Good Men, The American President. He was he earned 4 nominations for 4 Golden Globe Awards for Best Director, 3 Director Guilds of American Awards. This guy was just, Spinal Tap. It just a ridiculous talent. From everything, it looks like a fantastic person overall. Touched so many lives. Just to go out that way is just, man, your son. Man, just a really, really sad story to hear about the Reiners, Rob and Michelle. Just, wow. It's just one of those things. And again, like anybody that's my age, Rob Reiner has been an enormous part of your life because he has produced and been a part of so many successful things that is just weaved into, the quilt of your world, for well over 50 years, 60, 70 years. Just ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Oh, man. All right. Let me turn the page a little bit here. Not easy to from that, but we will do a little entertainment since we always do entertainment. Let's do some birthdays today, and let's go with musicians first. Born on this date on December 15th. Nick Beggs, bass guitarist with Kaja Gugu. One of the best lines out there, and Too Shy to Shy. That bass line is awesome. He plays a lot with Howard Jones now, by the way, in his band. Wasn't in the last, I think in the last tour, I don't think he was there. But anyway, born in 61. Tim Reynolds, multi-instrumentalist with Dave Matthews Band, born in 57. Paul Simonon, bassist for The Clash, born in 55. So underrated of a band. Don Johnson, a.k.a. Sonny Crockett. Heartbeat, bro. Come on. Born in 49. Carmine Appice with Vanilla Fudge and Rod Stewart for many years, too. Born in 46. How much ass did Carmine Appice get when he was touring with Rod Stewart. Jesus Christ. Just look at the videos of those days. Like Tonight I'm Yours and all those kind, that when he was part of that band. And just the women in those videos, can you imagine what was going on after those videos were shot? Dave Clark from the Dave Clark 5, born in 1942. Cindy Birdsong from the Supremes, born in 1939. All right. Now we go with other famous people born on this date. The Roman Emperor Nero in AD 37. We just lost him. I was actually hanging out with him last week. We were having lunch. So sad that we just lost him. Engineer Alexander Gustav Eiffel. Wonder where that came from. Born in 1832. Actor Tim Conway, great golfer. Born in 1933, comedian, but he's also a golfer. You should look it up. Let's see who else. Actor Helen Slater, born in 1963. She is 62 today. Actor Garrett Wang, born in 1968, 57 today. Actor Adam Brody, born in 1979, he's 46. Actor Charlie Cox, born in 1982, he's 43. Actor Daniel Ezra, born in 1991, he's 34. Actor Maud Apatow, born in 1997, 28. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, sir, I do. As soon as I get the page back up here. Here we go. Ashton Smith turns 37. Elix Skipper is 58. Eric Young turns 46. Kendall Windham, he's 58. Co-Mander is 27. Mae Valentine turns 38. Stevie Turner, she turns 29 today, December 15th, 2025.
All right.
And also,
yes, sir.
I don't know if you saw in the chat, but Stephen Harris turns 41 today.
Stephen Harris, 41. With who?
Right now, he just says, speaking of birthdays, I just turned 41.
Oh, Stephen Harris. Oh,
yes,
okay. I'm thinking of an actor, Stephen Harris. I'm going, no, but Stephen Harris. Happy birthday, Stephen Harris, man. Happy birthday to you, my brother. 41. Good for you, man. It's awesome. Nice job. Let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? Because I know you're all wondering. December 15th. What happened today? Did anything big happen today? By the way, Michigan State quarterback Aiden Childs will be entering the NCAA transfer portal, he tells ESPN. Childs is a true junior. He has 1 year of eligibility. He played in 30 games over 3 combined seasons at Michigan State and Oregon State. So another quarterback into the transfer portal. But I think you want to get the Arizona State guy if you're UM. Yes, sir.
Lagway also entered the portal this morning.
Oh, shocker. Okay. I still want to get the Arizona State kid, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's go with music history. Let's find out what happened today in music history. 155, Johnny Cash released the single Folsom Prison Blues. On the B-side was another Cash tune, So Doggone Lonesome, which was recorded during the same session at Sun Studios in Memphis. Both songs peaked at number 4 in the Billboard's country singles chart. In 57, Sammy Davis Jr. inaugurated a syndicated radio talk show with a roundtable discussion of rock and roll. In 67, The Who released their third album, The Who Sells Out. There are fake radio jingles between songs, including one of a deodorant, Odorono. In 73, David Cassidy went to number 1 in the UK album charts with his third solo album, Dreams are nothing more than wishes. In 74, Young Frankenstein opened in theaters. When members of Aerosmith took a break from recording Toys in the Attic to see the film, the scene where Igor, Marty Feldman, tells Dr. Frankenstein, Gene Wilder, to walk this way, and the doctor imitates Igor's walk, inspired the title track they've been working on. There you go. Toys in the Attic. Let's see, what else? In 79, Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall made it to number 1 in the UK. In 88, James Brown was sentenced to 6 years in prison for various offenses, including possessions of weapons and resisting arrest. In 92, Nirvana released a compilation album, Incesticide. It features the singles Silver and Aneurysm. In 92, Dr. Dre released his debut studio album, El Crónico, The Chronic. It features the singles Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, Baby, to, what is it, Roped Out Gangsters, Because We're Crazy or something. I forgot who it is. Anyway, Dre Day and Let Me Ride were also in the album. Two Doped Out Gangsters, Because We're Crazy, right? I think that's what it is. In 98, Backstreet Boys roadie Michael Barrett filed a $3 million lawsuit against the group, claiming damages after a 50-pound cannon fell on his head during a show. Yeah, I could see where that would be a problem. In 2014, Taylor Swift was number 1 on the U.S. album charts with their 5th studio album, 1989. The album eventually became the best-selling album of 2014. In the U.S. market, it sold over 5.7 million copies by the end of 2015, while selling 9.5 million worldwide. That woman makes money, dude. 7 singles have been released from that album. By the way, so cool. She just finished her Eras tour, and she dealt out $197 million in bonuses to the dancers, the roadies, everybody. Everybody part of the tour got a bonus check. A hell of a bonus check. She's a good person, dude. I compartmentalize things all the time, okay? I'm not into her music whatsoever, bro. Okay? You won't find on my playlist a Beyonce song, Taylor Swift song. You won't find any of that girly music shit. Okay? I don't like it. It's not my style. But she looks like a fantastic human being. I don't know. That's how she just comes off. She comes off like a really good person. Overall, she just seems like she gives a shit about her fans. She seems like she wants to put on a show for her fans. They all pay money to go, but she also, she performs like 40 songs in a damn show. That woman gives back. She's not like Fred Durst, okay? That overweight slob. All right. I saw what's it called? Limp Bizkit open up for Metallica recently and dude, he spent 20 minutes like just eating shit on stage. Not performing, not, and it's like 1/3 of your set. And it's like, yo, dude, they're paying you to perform, like go out there and do it with some energy. And it was all half-ass and all that. I wouldn't pay one dime to see Limp Bizkit anymore. After I saw that, I was like, some of these assholes, they actually don't put back the effort when people are paying a lot of money to see live shows nowadays. So I give her a ton of credit. Okay? Not into the music, but man, as a professional, I have immense respect for Taylor Swift. I really do. All right, let's move on. What else? 2014, D'Angelo released his 3rd studio album, Black Messiah. It features Really Love and Betray My Heart. Let's see if there's any other birthdays that weren't on the other list. Nope, not at all. That's it. That's what happened today in music history. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You're welcome, Steven. Happy birthday, my brother. Hope you have a great one, man. Reiner's first film as a director, This is Spinal Tap. Last film, Spinal Tap 2. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Big O, what's the setup for Monday night at your house? Relax. I'm watching it with the dogs and my wife. That's it. Take notes for the post-game show. That's all. That is it, my friend. That is it. So, going around the NFL yesterday, Bears defeat the Browns 31-3. I never saw the Bears being 10-4 this year. You could have gotten that one on me 100 times over, dude. I couldn't have been more wrong. Chargers eliminate the Chiefs from the playoffs 16-13. Chargers are 10-4. The Chefs are 6-8, and they lose Mahomes for the year with a torn ACL. Ugly, dude. The Bills and the Pats played a classic. They played a hell of a game, and what a comeback by the Bills to be down 21-0. You thought that the Pats were just going to run away with the division, and guess what? Now there's only a game difference between the two. Anything can happen. The Bills can still win this division. It's crazy. Crazy. Allen, by the way, 3 touchdowns yesterday, 11 for 48 on the ground. The Eagles defeat the Raiders 31-0. Man, the Raiders are bad. 2-12. 2-12. Phillies 9-5. Jags, another team. I did not see them 10-4. Beat the Jets 48-20. Jets dropped to 3-11. Texans defeat the Cards 40-20. Houston's 9-5. Arizona's 3-11. Broncos, here's another one where I was wrong. Broncos over the Packers 34-26. Bo Nix. Can't say I bought him coming out of college, bro. But this kid is, and he'll be like erratic during a game, and then he'll turn it on in the fourth quarter. He does it all the time. But yesterday he played a good game, 23 of 34, 302 yards, and 4 touchdowns, dude. Bo Nix, bro. He is way better than I ever thought he could be. He's 12-2 right now, Denver. That is impressive. Green Bay drops to 9-4-1. The Rams beat the Lions 41-34. It didn't start like that. Detroit started off hot. They are now 6-6 on the season. The Rams are 11-3. That's crazy, dude. That is insane. The way things have gone for Detroit. Wow. A lot of injuries, too, for Detroit. Let me look at it again here in a second. 8-6. That's what it is. Not 6-6. 8-6. I don't know why I wrote 6-6. 8-6 for the Lions. There we go. Saints over the Panthers, 20-17. Carolina 7-7, and Carolina is way better than I ever expected at 7-7. And it's a weird team. You don't know what you're going to get from one week to another. Carolina is the team you don't want to bet against because they could give the best team in the league one hell of a game or even beat them sometimes. It's a weird team. Like they beat some teams that they're not supposed to beat, and then they go and lose to the Saints. The Panthers are a weird-ass team. And even at 7-7, I would have never thought they would be 500 at this point. Never. Vikings over the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys had a little stretch where they beat a couple teams, and then they went back to being the Cowboys. Oh, man. And then yesterday, the Geritol man made the start, Phillip Rivers, and it ended the way it's supposed to end with Phillip Rivers with an interception. I know he completed a couple passes and he got the touchdown. Dude, he was throwing loaves of bread out there. He is the Pillsbury throw boy part 2. I mean, it's a joke, bro. It's a joke. Luckily, they blocked their asses off. They were able to run the ball because they desperately have to block and desperately have to run. And, he's going to complete a couple of intermediate passes, but he has no zip on the ball. He looks 44 years old. And considering all of that, they hung in there. I give the Colts a lot of credit, dude, because those players played their asses off to hang in there with a guy that can barely play. And with all that said, somehow or another, they made it a game. He went 18 of 27 for 120 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. It's not going to get much better. Okay? It's just not. I don't even know how he feels this morning, but he's got to feel pretty bad. It's crazy, dude. Insane that they're doing that. George, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Big O wanted to ask, if Miami loses or gets officially eliminated, in your experience, do you think this team gives up and not worth watching? George, do you watch the show, my brother? I said in the preseason, they're not going to the playoffs. So in my eyes, they weren't going anywhere. And they started 1-5, I think it was, whatever it was, and they never gave up. The players, they have a lot of players with like professionalism in them. They're like quality individuals. So give them a lot of credit. No, if they get eliminated, they're playing for themselves right now. Brooks is not playing because he's thinking about the playoffs. He plays because he's a professional. Zach Sealer is going to try to take your head off no matter what. So that has nothing to do with it. The good thing is hopefully they win today, because what I'd like for them to do is, they're not going to the playoffs, but I'd love to see them finish strong, win 3 or 4, win all 4. Won't get them in the playoffs, but it'll end the season strong and you'll feel better about a lot of players. So I've been watching from the get-go, not thinking any playoffs. So for me, the Dolphins are always worth watching, no matter how much they suck. But I'm not the guy that's going to bullshit you people. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be honest about the team, but I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, well, they got a real chance for the playoffs if this and that happens. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're not going to the playoffs. And I told you that in the offseason. So for me, George, this season was all about watching the players develop. And for the next 4 games, I want to see them continue to get better. Like I said, win in the weather, win on the road, win a primetime game, do those kind of things that very few Dolphin teams do over the last 45 years. That's what it's worth for me. So the Dolphins are always worth watching because I love the Dolphins, but it's not going to stop me from telling you what is really going on. I don't need to sell you papers. I don't do this for clicks and views and do sensationalistic bullshit and all that kind of stuff. I just keep it real, dude. Whether you can handle it or not, that's up to you. But I keep it real. That's all. So, and thank you for the second super chat. He says, I do watch. I'm just at work and try to get on breaks. This would just be an additional variable. Always watch, man. Record and watch later. That's what you do. Phillip Rivers looked like he was in a John Woo film, slow motion. Only thing missing was some doves. That is awesome. That is awesome. And we will be back this evening to get you ready for the Dolphins and the Steelers, and hopefully we'll get a win tonight. Let's hope so. We appreciate Ira Winderman. If you missed that, you can catch it. Yeah, it's a short show today. I got 2 more shows today. I got to do a pre and a post game show. So got to take care of the voice, and then I got to do a show on Tuesday. Good thing is it's in the afternoon at Hialeah Park. We'll see you guys at 7:15. Get you ready for the game, and we'll talk a little Dolphins and a little Steelers. Appreciate Sean Stanley. Appreciate Ira Winderman. And thanks to all of you out there. If you hit the like button, if you hit the notification bell, if you made a donation, appreciate you all out there. Much love. See you at 7:15. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.